Oh my
things.
goodness.
It's just, it's kind of hard. I guess it's just up to the individual, because as great as the Millennium Development Goals are, and as great as legislation is, and No Child Left Behind, those things can't happen unless there's a really giant general group committal. And that has to happen on the part of every individual involved. So this woman has done great things, but she mentioned that they were able to unchair that government man. I don't know what his position was or what their government, but they were able to unelect him from his position in government. But she wouldn't have been able to do that on her own. She had to enlist the help of women, and that was a big risk for them. They had to be really brave, and so I think it becomes a question of what is the personal risk, and is it going to be worth it?
And he was like surrounded. He must have been there so early that.
I'm thinking deeply.
That's good.
One thing that separated America from those guys are farming techniques, food production technology. Here in America, one man can produce a lot of food.
Yeah.
And so that gives us the opportunity. You know, he doesn't want to do anything else. He doesn't want to, the guy who produces food, he doesn't want to, let's say he doesn't want to make cars. And so other people have the opportunity because he's got food. And I think if maybe we, some kind of open source institution in Africa talking about farming techniques. It's kind of radical, but I don't come up with thoughts, I come up with solutions.
No, it's good, and it definitely is a problem. It becomes...
And those guys are over there talking about charity, and you guys were talking about, like, I said no. And I see my problems, I see my bills. And then, no, I can't donate to charity, but charity isn't it's not a solution.
It's not always about money too. I mean, charity. There's other
If you
ways
light a fire for a man, he'll be warm until the fire goes out.
Yeah.
But if you light him on fire, he'll be warm for the rest of his life. Or teach him how to light a fire.
Yeah. No, and I think those are both really actually great analogies.
And so the solution is not charity. The solution would be like an investment.
Sure.
Your charity shouldn't be money. It should be time. It should be knowledge. And the open source. You guys familiar with open source?
A little bit, the idea of it.
The open source world the open source community has changed the world. You know, the iPad and Macs are having a hard time right now because they're competing with the open source guys.
Yeah, sure. I think going back to what you were saying about helping them be dependent upon themselves, what needs to be done overall in this instance for the women to enable them to be able to actually make the decision. Because right now, the problem is that it's not even a matter, they do want to go to school, but it's not even a matter of decision, do I go to school, because it's not an option, because it's either go to school, if I go to school then I die, or my children die because my basic needs are not met. And so I think it comes down to how are their basic needs going to be met that enable them to have opportunity.
And that's part of it.
Absolutely. I think there's really great organizations like Heifer they're located throughout the world, but they help villages become self-sufficient by gifting them animals, but then they bring in professionals to teach them how to manage the animals, how to help the animals reproduce, how to stay healthy, and in return they pay it forward to a neighboring village, and when their animals have babies, they gift them to another village, and it's kind of a ceremonial thing. And I'm a really big fan of that. I got to be a part of that in high school. We did a huge fundraiser to help gift. They called it an ark to a village that was like a whole grouping of animals.
So
So.
it's called heifer.
Mm-hmm.
Is it like a female cow?
Yes,
Okay.
that's the name of the organization is called Heifer, but in named for that. Yeah.
Okay. I'm unfamiliar with this organization.
No, it's not very widely known. I just think that something like that would be, if that was more widely, like, since you don't know about it, if that was more widely known and people knew they could donate and do a little bit, you can donate like little amounts of money in a way that is, yeah, exactly. It really does end up being an investment no matter how much money you give, because every little bit kind of helps. So.
If we went over to Africa and developed some sort of open source platform for food production, it would change the world.
Do you have anything else to add?
I know what I'm doing tomorrow.
Okay.